Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington. And today we are reviewing episode number 2 of the Expanse season 6, Azure Dragon. And man, it's heating up, isn't it?
Yes. Like we said off air, things are cooking right now.
Things are cooking right now, man. Marco, his days may be numbered, but it's going to take a few episodes. But
all right, it's not going to be till the end of the season for sure. But like, he's about to have some problems. You can see the look on his face. Like he tried to laugh it off. Like, I don't know, they're coming, but it's okay.
He's like, he said, we'll be ready.
We'll be ready.
No, dude. Every single thing, how the weapons, the asteroids they were throwing at these different planets, it was all controlled by this one ship, right?
Yeah.
And now they don't have control over it. Yeah. Azure Dragon. Like, the Azure Dragon is the name of the ship. Like, it's some sort of a spotter ship or something that they rigged up.
Yeah, it's got its satellites all over it, and it's controlling the. I guess because they had the controls on each of the asteroid with the guided missile thing. Mm-hmm. So that's how he's been doing it. But like he realized, and this I was thinking about this when I was watching the show. Earth is as mad about the belt as the belters are mad about Earth.
Yeah,
like they're complaining about all the Earth. The Earthers are so terrible to us, yada yada yada. But people on Earth are like, oh, word, let's destroy everything, blow everything out the sky. All of these guys, I don't care who they are, they're done. And so the conflict that they brought on the belt, it was being put to the side because of the asteroid thing. Mm-hmm. And now that that's going to be solved, they got problems. Let's put it like that.
They're Earth has ships. Problem, or the belters?
The belt's got problems.
They've got problems. Yeah, for sure.
There's way more people on Earth and Mars than there is on the belt. That's the first thing.
Yeah,
and they have better technology. Well, they did before the Mars gave them a bunch of ships, but I would say half of the ships went through the rings.
Yeah,
a good chunk of the ships went through the ring.
A lot of the Martian ships went through the ring. I'm not sure why, but we're going to find out. I mean, I think the other thing is, now that the Earthers can't feed the belters, they're starving, dude. This is
that's the other thing is that
potato famine.
Yeah, Kamina, she's asking the other captain. Well, we'll talk about with the rundown, but she's asking the other captain where the supply depots are.
Yeah,
and that's going to be twofold problems because any war that you have, you need food and you need supplies. It don't matter how good your battleships are and how many. If you run out of food, you're done. Stick a fork in your battle plans.
One of the reasons why the Nazis were brought down was because
I was just about to talk about
supply line. The Blitzkrieg was like, as a military tactic, was super amazing as a military tactic, but they were like stretching the supply lines.
Yeah, they were destroying Russia.
Yeah,
and Russia had bodies. And
bodies.
I think it's the parallel right here. Mm-hmm. Earth has nothing but bodies.
That's it.
and you guys had the tactical ships and all this stuff like that, but you're about to have a bunch of bodies being thrown at you, and we'll see what you're gonna do about it. So this is gonna be interesting. I like the whole strategic thing about it, and just the whole conflict of how it started, and it to me, it's like this thing was planned through. Because like having the spotter ship that's just throwing the asteroids at Earth to keep them pinned down. This is brilliant strategy from a pirate. You know what I'm saying?
It is, but it is, right? But it really isn't. I mean, like the Martians and the Earthers were just caught off guard. They also had some rogue, like the Martians had some like rogue officers, so that sort of screwed things up as well.
Yeah, they didn't take it serious. And
they didn't take it serious, dude.
There's a lot of that for sure.
It's
in every conflict, there's the thing of the giant that's sleeping and it's just not paying attention and get caught off guard. And I think that for this thing to be going on for like how many months now?
Yeah,
we're talking like
a little over 6 months.
Days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 187 days.
Just dropping asteroids, like because one asteroid the size of a city or whatever, that would decimate the planet.
The planet, yeah,
So,
dude. I mean, you're
so
talking about
having stuff
tsunamis,
like that,
earthquakes, like tidal
yeah,
waves, like monsoons. I mean, like any other M word or H
yeah,
word
you
you're
can
gonna
think
think
about,
about. any
yeah,
letter in the alphabet, that's gonna happen when that
tsunamis, you
asteroids.
name
Yeah,
it, yeah, yeah.
exactly. Mm,
So
mm.
just imagine you got 6-7 months of that just straight. You know
Yeah,
what's coming, what time of day is just coming. And
that's
they
crazy,
eventually
man.
figured out, okay, we can shoot a couple out of the sky, but you got the fragments and stuff. So it's not the size of a city anymore. It's the size of some cars. That still do damage.
I always ask this question, like, even with things that happened here in America and at the
Mm,
Capitol, right? My question is this: okay, now what? You
mm,
got everything you want. I mean,
mm,
everyone is gone. It's just a pure. It's one race.
mm.
There's no one else. Okay, now what? The
Yeah, that's the
Wall
thing with,
Street people and the politicians is still going to like make sure that the fat cats are still fat,
yeah, it's like
and you're not
Marco.
getting anything.
This the issue for Marco is that, okay, now you're a big dog, you're in charge. Now you got to govern,
Now what?
and you don't know how to
Exactly.
do that.
Yeah.
You could clearly see he doesn't know how to govern
Yeah.
because like he. All right, we'll do the rundown.
You want
Let's
to go?
talk
You want to
about
do
rundown.
a quick
Yeah.
overview and we'll get into it?
All right.
Mhm.
So episode 2 opens up with the little girl again, which I
Her
I
name
don't
is
care.
Kara. I'm.
I'm
You know
not
what? But you
interested.
know what? But wait. Okay. Okay. Go through the overview
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, okay.
I want to talk about her a little bit.
Now, I will say this though. Her parents are the most neglectful parents
Oh my
on
goodness.
planet on in the universe.
Forget about it.
Because
It's
you
over.
can't you're on a new planet, all right? You don't know all the species of animals out there. Your
Right.
kids just running around willy-nilly following space
Almost
birds. Like,
getting
what are you
hit by a
doing?
jeep. I'm calling
Yeah,
DIFUS on that fool.
what are we doing?
I'm
As
calling family
parents,
services on that
right?
family.
Right?
For real. Like, hello, we have an
Yo.
abusive situation here.
You out the
you
door
know
with the little paper, like, yo, I don't
exactly.
understand that. And look, I get you guys are scientists, whatever the hell you're doing, but like, come on. You can't have your kids running around climbing rocks and doing all kind of craziness. And you
Feed
don't even
yourself.
know
There's
what's out
food
there.
in the refrigerator.
What? The latchkey space kids, man.
Oh
Yo,
my
this is whack.
goodness. Yo,
All right,
dude.
that annoyed me this so much, but like,
Mm.
I get it because you don't have resources and you gotta make do with what you have. But like, come on, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't have kids running around the planet. You don't know what else is out there. You kind of know, but look, we're on planet Earth. We're still discovering species at the bottom of the ocean. How many thousands of years later?
True.
So like, you have no idea what's out there. And you all right. I'm gonna get off the tangent. So we get back to the Rocinante
Uh-huh.
and Holden, Naomi, they're loading up stuff on the ship, and they're getting fuel up to par. And yeah, she's holding grudges, man. She's being salty as ever.
Yo,
I get your
dude.
beef with her.
I
I
don't
get
know
your beef with her.
about
I still like
Naomi, I'm
her.
telling you.
I still like her, but
I
I
don't
I
know.
get your understand with your beef with her. Like she got to get out her feelings, man. You in space, you got stuff to do. Like real talk,
When you have peaches outdoing you, it's a problem.
right? Right?
Come on.
I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah,
Right?
for real.
So they're loading up this stuff, and then
Peaches is
Bobby
weird,
shows
isn't
up.
she?
Yo, I rock with Peaches, all right. Peaches is a G. I rock with her. But all right,
Mm,
so Bobby shows up. Christian sent her out there for a mission to go find the Zor dragon.
yeah.
And Bobby's like, oh, it's like old times. It is not like old times.
No.
Everybody's splintered. Holden looks like he needs to take a nap. Like
That fool
everybody
needs some
looks
Z's for
tired.
real.
Yeah, he got bags under his bags.
And a
Like,
shave. He's got a
tired.
shave, dude. Come on.
Right, he looks tired. Like he looks beat to hell. Like I
Yeah.
get it, man. It's 6 months of space battles. I get it. You're living a life on the edge. So Philip is still the worst,
Oh my
and
goodness, Philip.
so Kamita she's dropping off her crew member on another ship,
Mhm.
who's got a Mars a spaceship too. They got one of those like the
Yeah.
Rocinante,
Mhm.
and it looks like the Free Navy's getting disgruntled. And so Kamina, being the G that she is,
Mhm.
recognizes that is like, hey, come on the ship. I'll give you a tour. Let's talk. So
Yeah.
now she discovers there's depots everywhere with the
Supply
food and
depots.
resources. Yeah. So and now this is gonna be super useful because they're running out of missiles and food and everything else. So
Yeah.
I think that's an easy target to take over, and that's gonna be very interesting going forward. Let's see what else happens. So we got Philip out of jail. Philip is a bitch as ever.
Like,
The actor seems like a really nice guy. I don't know. I haven't
mm.
seen him before.
Would
I
you
want to
ever deal with
clarify,
him?
right?
Would you ever
Yeah,
deal with
exactly.
Philip,
I would
the
I
real
would hang
guy?
out with this guy. He seems pretty chill. He's a good actor. I I I equate this. I know you're a good actor because this reminds me of the movie Casino.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone was in Casino, and I was like, I hate this chick
Mm.
so much, and I was like, you know what? That's acting.
Yeah.
That's solid acting right there. So
Sharon
my hats
Stone
off.
killed it, man, in Casino. Come on.
Yeah. So my hats off to Philip,
Mm.
the actor or whatever. I'm sorry. What's his name? Josiah, whatever his name is.
We'll
I'm
have a
sorry,
beer
dude.
later.
Yeah. I'm not
You
mad
know.
at you, but Philip, man, yo. So he brings him out. This guy's all sulking in his quarters, thinking
Mm.
about he's gonna send a message to this guy's family that he shot, and everything's gonna be cool, whatever.
That was pretty
All right,
interesting.
we're moving on from Philip, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Rocinante and Bobby find out where this ghost ship is, and there's a little beef about who's in charge and who's taking orders from who. And it turns out Bobby's in charge, right?
Bobby.
which is which is
Bobby.
news to me.
Bobby.
Bobby's a
Bobby.
G. I
Yeah.
like Bobby a lot, so shout out to her.
Yeah. Bobby
And
does not take no mess.
Naomi has panic attack when she's about to do the space
A
jump.
mental blockage or something? I don't know.
Well, I mean, like what happened to her last season was traumatic. Like she basically almost died. So I understand that,
You're a soldier
but it
and an
would have been
engineer. You
better.
got to get over that for real.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know.
giving Naomi any
she's
slack
got
for real.
she's got PTSD. She's got space PTSD, right? So she can't. She's having struggles here. So she can't make it. So Peaches and Bobby got to save the day.
Mm.
And Peaches went Super Saiyan on this dude and threw up in her suit, which is extra nasty.
Dude, come on. That's not a superpower I would want to have, like vomiting on myself, come on.
That kind of.
And I
sucks.
gotta bust up some teeth all the time too. Come on.
Yeah, you can't do. I guess you can't do it in a spacesuit, but when you're on Earth or whatever, you go for it. So, Hulk out, go for it. But so they take over the ship and they realize where all the asteroids are.
It's massive.
They figure out this complicated grid of where these things are coming from.
Yeah.
They have full control over the ship now, plus where all the information is. And then we cut over to Marco, and he's talking to, was it Rosenfeld?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot her name.
Rosenfeld.
Rosenfeld, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's talking to Rosenfeld, and he's putting on a brave face. He's like, everything's good. We know they were coming, and we'll be ready for them. And yeah,
he showed the little weakness there.
Yeah, he did the nervous laugh, like, ha ha, we got this. Yeah, so the show ends there. Okay, what'd you think about the show?
They are doing, I mean, we're only 2 episodes in, right? So, they did a great job with setting up what things will happen, coming up in the next episodes. Mm-hmm. The Expanses, they got it. They know what they're doing, dude. When I was looking at the past 5 seasons, I was just noticing that the way those episodes just line up, with each other in each season, man, they got it. They got it right, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they got a tight team of writers over there.
With the Foundation, on Apple TV, there was a lot of time jumping, right? Mm-hmm. You don't really see that in the Expanse.
Yeah, well, because everything's in our solar system, it takes months to get somewhere with the drives they have, rather than 10 years or 15 years or whatever. So it's a lot easier to keep the time kind of close to what it is. Because Bobby left from, I think she was on the moon, and she got to where they were a couple weeks. I don't even know how long it was, but it didn't take that long. because they did the refill and she was there. So
Yep.
I think it's a lot easier because everything's in their solar system. Whereas Foundation, it's a wide galaxy,
Yeah.
not millions of planets, whatever. So it's
It's
pretty
all of
vast.
space.
Yeah, it's vast.
For real.
But like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I like about the Expanse is that there's not a lot of walking and talking like they do in all the other shows.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna have a space battle every episode, or
They
at
get
least some
to it.
adventure.
Yeah.
There's something happening that is fun and cool every episode,
Yeah.
and I love that for this
You gotta
show. Like
love
this,
that.
this
Yeah.
is I said it before. This is one of my favorite shows on TV, bar none,
Yeah.
and it's delivering the promise of that we've been hoping for with the Amazon budget. So I'm happy. I like where all this stuff is going on.
Now they the first episode and the second episode, they started off with this girl, Kara, on Laconia, right?
Yeah.
So there's something going on there, right? I mean, there's
I
something
think
going on there.
Oh yeah, I think they're building up to a
Mm-hmm.
proto-molecule battle over there
Yeah,
with some Mars ships and the fleet.
because the weird thing about how this started was, this bird died and whatever. She wanted to go
Mhm.
bury or bring the bird back to life. She couldn't, so she went out and the other birds fell from the nest, right? So this
Yeah,
like weird dog, I don't know what it is, this creature,
as a
in the
a
first
fetus.
episode, this creature saw the birds that fell off
Mhm.
the nest, and then also in this second episode,
Is ate the
that
bird.
creature saw the birds like just on the ground that fell from the nest, but it went for the dead bird instead. Now,
Yeah,
what's that all about?
I don't know. That's not usually how animals act. If there is a dead animal and a live animal, they would, unless you're buzzards, you would most likely get the live animal and eat the live animal
Yeah,
and leave the dead. Like I don't know. I'm
yeah,
not. I can't say I'm a zoologist or anything like that, but or whatever, a space zoologist. I can't say that, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it it seems like the animal when the girl was gone would just got the birds in the first place.
right, exactly. The live ones. So
Yeah,
here we are with Kamina and with this other Captain Walker.
was it
They link up.
Liang?
Yeah, Lang Walker.
Yeah,
And so they link up because the cargo is this crew member she has to get rid of because she just doesn't have the balls to like
she's
be
not built for
tough.
this.
She's
She's not
not
built
built
for
for it.
this.
Dude, she did knock out old girl and kill her though, remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but see the thing is though, you're only good as your last battle, and she pressed that wrong
You're as
button,
good as
almost
your
got the
last
kill.
album,
Yeah, Kamita was like, "Nah, you gotta go.
Yeah,
It's time to
dude,
go. You
like I
gotta.
mean,
Sorry,
you
I
got to
like
press
you.
that button.
I love you as a fifth girlfriend or whatever."
Yeah.
She's like, "You gotta go."
We'll link up like later on, after all this stuff is over. So they
Yeah.
link up, and now Kamina knows that there are supply depots. So as we said earlier,
Mhm.
when your supply lines are screwed up, the war
You
is
got
basically
problems.
over. You got problems, right?
You
So
got
now
problems.
your super weapon
Hmm.
has been taken, right?
Yeah,
Now your supply depots may be hit. Man, it's going to be rough.
I was thinking about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys in the belt, the Free Navy, a lot of these guys are pirates, and they kind of know how to work stuff because they've been in space their whole life, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't really know these ships as well as the Martians know these ships.
No,
That's why I said, like, when we had what was the guy that was the captain for Rocinante that died? I forgot his name. I'm drawing a
Alex.
blank here. Yeah, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Alex was a monster piloting Rocinante,
Yeah,
and especially in battle and stuff like that. He's doing things that these other people can't do. When it comes time for real battle with the UN ships who've been battling the the Mars ships their entire careers,
right.
they know how to handle these ships,
Exactly.
and they know what to expect from them, what they're capable of, the class, and all that stuff like that. Unless they outfitted them with more weapons or whatever, the UN ships are better designed for this battle that's coming up. Now, for TV purposes, it may be more even than we think it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, logically, from my brain thinking about how this stuff works, you would think the UN ships who are battling these types of classes of ships their entire space career would have a better job running these things versus guys who just hopped in them yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like if I gave somebody a Ferrari that was just driving a Civic their entire life, you may whip the Ferrari a little bit, but you're gonna have trouble around the corners.
It's crashing that thing up, dude.
Yeah, you're crashing. You don't know how to drive a Ferrari.
No.
You know how to drive a car.
You don't even know how to drive a stick.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know how to drive a car. You don't know how to drive a Ferrari. And a lot of these guys are pirates or whatever. I don't think they know because like those kind of ships, you need to know all of the different because they have different areas in this ship you got to control. You know, like Star Trek, you got the engineering, you got the guy loading the space torpedoes, you got all this stuff. They need to know how to fix it.
Yeah.
And this is a ship that you just got. I don't think that you would be as good as you think you could be because like Mars people have been grown, they've lived on this thing, they built them from scratch. The UN ships, they know they grew up on these things, they built them from scratch, and then these guys were handed these things. So I'm curious to see if that will be a issue when the battles start, because it's easier to take out scrap ships and when everybody's running for their lives. When these guys are built for the hits that you can give them and they shoot back, it might be a different thing. You're going to have problems.
And the Martians have better technology. Their ships are better, they just have better weaponry, the whole nine, they have all that stuff, Once you are hitting up as a pirate, the supply depots, I mean, the stuff is going to start dwindling. Your supply to all of your ships to battle the Earthers and the Martians are going to go down. Again, like I said, your control ship, that was controlling all the asteroids are like done. They even took the software and decrypted that joint. It was encrypted, so they broke into it and they know everything now. Real quick. So
the other thing, the belt can't go through the ring, so they're like their back is against the wall because belters can't live on Earth that's got heavy gravity. They're gonna get folded over, so they got problems.
And they're not eating either.
Yeah,
it's like the rations aren't what they used to be. I mean, they're getting less rations as
Sirius was complaining about that, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're getting less rations from Marco and his free Navy than they were from the Earthers. So people, now you can, now you're talking about uprising, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you've already killed your own people anyway.
Because Marco's petty out there, and then he's saying some of these ships, well, you get the scraps, and we're going to give you less resources and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So all of those guys, once Earth ships are back and Mars ships are back in the skies, like what's stopping them from defecting? I think you're going to lose a lot of your ships very quickly.
Right.
At least you should.
And then the other thing is Christian, who is, don't mess with her, dude.
She's a G. She's a G. Like, so clap for Christian.
She is a G. She's a boss. She is she is cunning. So she linked up with Monica, and she was like, hey, listen, we want you to why don't you put something out there and just let the Belters know that, a lot of Earthers have died, but also a lot of Belters have died, right? Mm-hmm. So now you have, it's in, she was saying, I don't deal with propaganda. And, she was like, no, this is exactly, I mean, like you want to get a paycheck, right? You better deal with propaganda. Stop it, man. Right? Fake news.
You're the dude. Right? Stop it, man. You do propaganda. Stop it.
Exactly. So that's a really good strategy because now you have, again, if you have your control ship, the ship that was controlling all the asteroids, now gone, it's taken away from you. If you now have people hitting up your supply depots, right, which means the Belters are going to get even less, and now you have a media push. Pressure. Yeah, media push on, just saying, hey, Belters died, Earthers died, but, maybe we can, this is the way, it shouldn't be this way. It's not going to be great for Marco.
I think that the news that Monica's going to put together is like the decimation, whatever. I think on the belt side of things, the people out there are going to be like, "Was this thing worth it?" Because now we don't have food, and
Yeah.
Earth is mad at us.
Yeah.
And they're coming.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a good edge divide or wedge that'll kind of cause trouble for Marco's army because those guys are fickle. Those kind of people that are, do the pirate stuff.
Yeah.
They're fickle about who's going to be in charge, and the first chance they get to leave or take ownership of something, they
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. They want to
So you
be with
can't rely
winners.
on them.
Pirates want to be winners. So, if
Yeah,
they
they
see
want to be
that
with
you're
the
not
winners.
right, if they see that, you know what, dude, you ain't kicking right now, you're
Yeah,
going
if
bye
you
bye.
look you cannot look weak to a bunch of pirates
Yeah,
because they're basically vultures and they're waiting for you to fall so they can
that's
take
true.
over.
That's
So yeah,
true.
it's a bad thing for him to be if they mess up the supply lines and the belters start starving because you were getting your food and water from Earth and now you can't rely on that. People are going to be mad.
It's not
Be
going to be
real mad.
good.
They're gonna blame Marco. Now, this is how we're logically thinking about this. Now, the writers could have gone a different direction, but
Mm-hmm.
this is how I think it would go,
Mm-hmm.
or it will go. I hope.
Yeah, I think so too. Speaking of Marco, so he went and he bailed out your best friend, Philip.
Philip, Philip, hey.
And, because he was in jail, so he bailed him out. Well, he didn't bail him out. He just said, this is a free Navy matter. So, they
Yeah,
just let him
he's
go
like, come
because
on.
everyone's afraid of him, right?
Yeah, he's like,
Except
you gotta lock
Rosenfeld.
up my son. You kidding me? Like,
Right, exactly.
I think this
You
is.
know, so he came out, and he was just telling him, you're a complete embarrassment. That kind of got to Philip. He was like, wow, I'm an embarrassment.
Yeah, I hit him in his soul, right?
Yeah. I mean, would you rather be called stupid or an embarrassment?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a
Yeah.
tough one because they're both
You're
L's, but there's
embarrassing.
different.
You're an
Yeah,
embarrassment.
like you're too dumb for me to worry about you. That's how bad you are.
Right. What if someone was like, you're an embarrassment to your race, or like you're stupid to your race for your
Yeah,
race? Which one would, I mean, like,
that hurt.
embarrassment. Yeah. It's just like, it
I was gonna
kind of
say
hurts.
from Philip's perspective, that hurts. His
Yeah.
dad's like, "Yo, you're a bitch, like
You're an
you idiot."
embarrassment on this like planet here, So
Yeah,
he thought about that for real. And you can tell he thought about it just with the message he sent to Johan's
yeah.
family, because he was like, just stumbling around, and then he was like, wait a minute, let me be a leader. Right. And let me say it like I have confidence and everything else. That was an
Yeah.
interesting scene because I took it as, you know what? Well, wait a minute, maybe he's turning here,
He sent that message of, you know what, my best friend kind of, I don't know, he had an accident. I don't know how this happened, but you know what? I hope you guys are okay. I'm gonna send you some stuff to make you feel better.
He
I don't know
died
what happened.
honorably.
Did he
you
know?
know. And then your boy Marco, he's getting all emotional, like, oh, I love my son. Just like, I don't know what to do. It's just like, dude, you're like a parent. That's what parents do. They're like, there's something on wrong. Why is he doing this? Why is she doing that? What's going on? It's like, you got to start parenting, right?
You're a terrible parent in the middle of a war, right?
You're a
That's what you are.
megalomaniac as a dad and also
Yeah.
as just a person.
Yeah.
So now he's just like, he wants him to be a man, yada, yada, yada. So that was a very small scene in the second episode, the Marco stuff, and then what's going on
Yeah,
the ship.
just
He did react.
the fall of it's the fall of the family. The Norris family's got issues.
He reacted really strangely when, they found out that, that the Azure Dragon was taken. He's just like, you could see it like in his,
like, oh god.
He's like, I'm screwed,
Yeah, he looked like, oh god, here we go. Like,
right. And he doesn't even know about these supply depots that will be hit. He doesn't even know about that.
Yeah.
So
that is a hell of a 1-2 punch for them because they have no resources out there.
And then the media blitz.
Yeah. Because they're, people belters are gonna watch that stuff to see what happens.
Yeah,
first they're gonna be cheering for it, and they're like, "Wait a
Mhm.
minute, this guy's give us food. Oh crap, what are we gonna do now?"
Yeah, your girl Christian, she understands the politics of it too. That's why she
Mhm.
wants to do this whole media thing. It's just like, you have people, you can't make any change unless you get a message out there for people to see, to hear, right? You
Yeah.
can't just be fighting off these asteroids, and you got to drop
Mhm.
messages, breadcrumbs, put like
Yeah,
things in people's mind,
he's not
and just,
controlling the narrative at all. Like
yeah,
he just
not at
let
all.
he did a thing. Everyone's like,
Hmm.
"Yay, Earth is dead" or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they let whatever rumors or whatever go on out there. And I think it's Rosenfeld that said, "Oh, people are talking about your son, and he's a
Yeah.
clown."
He's a clown, dude.
You've left this thing just fester in the air.
Yeah.
First, he's the hero of the belt, and he did all this stuff, and now
Mhm.
he's a clown. And that these narratives are going to take root, and you can't
Mhm.
get rid of that because you're not controlling the narrative. You haven't thought that through because he's never led anything.
No.
He's led a ship and a couple pirates doing their thing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all he's led. He
And the
hasn't led
reason,
a belt with thousands of people before.
no, he had two. Well, one, first things first. He can't do
Mhm.
that because he's all about this revenge thing, So it's just like
Yeah, he's not.
revenge, revenge, revenge. And then the second thing is, he doesn't. He's really just a person who wants to spend a lot of time, most of his time on the ship, right?
Yeah,
And
he
just
he
doing
wants to
stuff
go to
like that.
battle and do things.
Yeah.
He does not want to sit at a desk pushing paper.
Yeah.
But that's what he has to do.
Now, what he could have done, you tell me what you think about this. So he
Mhm.
has these ships. He has some Martian, rogue military people.
Mhm.
He has weapons. And if he did this first act and then said, hey, the Belters, we want to be our own planet. Let's all, the three of us, the Belters, the Martians, and the Earthers, let's come to the table and let's work this out. He could have just slid it that way too.
That's true, because Monica asked if he's reached out to them for like a truce
Yeah.
or something, and Christian was like, "I haven't talked to him.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at."
Because he's revenge, revenge, revenge. He wants to kill.
That was a
I,
that was
you
a
know,
dumb move.
I know it's a TV show. I know it's something that's on television. It's creative, the whole nine. But it's
Mhm.
almost like when we were checking out Milkshake, Gunpowder Milkshake, and the
Mhm.
crime organization was called the Firm. How many crime organizations are called the Firm?
Lots,
Right.
lots.
So it's just like, okay, how
Mhm.
many people who has this whole revenge thing, how many
Mhm.
times does that end not in a great way for them? All the
Yeah,
time.
because they can't pivot to being okay. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And his thing with revenge, the second they dropped the first asteroid, he should have hit Earth up like, "Hey, you can't leave your ship
Like
can't leave this planet ever again."
that was his doorbell, ring. It's just like, hello, I'm here,
Yeah, it's a knock.
Would you guys like to sit down and maybe we can
You're
work something
knocking
out, right? You
listen, all
know?
right? I got 1,000 of these things. You can never leave Earth again.
He
Done and
cares
done.
he cares absolutely nothing about the Belters because if he
Yeah, he says
did, he would say, okay, the Belters are like its own independent, nation or whatever, okay, how can we feed our people? How can I feed my people?
he's
If
not
I'm in
that.
charge of my people, how can I supply my people, give them more than what the Earthers would give them? How can I
Mhm.
do something about the oxygen, the air? It's just like he's on a ship, dude.
Yeah, well, the supply runs for the depots, whatever. That's whatever they stole from these other ships. They just had that stuff
Mm.
put around the thing, but they're not making new things. Because on series, they're like, "Hey, if we do this stuff, we get these resources. We can increase our food production and water production on
In
the
10 years.
asteroid." Yeah, and he's like, "I don't care."
Yeah.
He looked at her like, "I don't care.
He's like,
Whatever, man."
whatever, dude. It's just like, yeah,
But
so
that's the thing, though. He's thinking like, "Okay, this battle is the most important thing rather than ruling,
yeah,
and it's going to be his downfall."
he's going down, dude. So now we have your people, Holder, Naomi,
Hold it. Yeah.
Holder, Naomi, Amos. your girl Peaches. Every time I say that name, I'm gonna say it like that. Peaches, like
Peaches and cream.
Peaches.
My homie Amos and Amos and Peaches, right?
Right. And then Bobby comes on board. So Bobby comes on board because she has a secret mission from Christian to, go and get this ship, this spotter ship, the Azure Dragon, right? And it sort of went, it was going according to plan, and then they got spotted.
Bad.
Yeah.
It went really bad because I think if Peaches was on board, she would have noticed these guys popped up from the other side of the ship or whatever. Because they could have avoided that.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably better that they fought them out in space instead of inside the ship. Because more equipment could have got damaged or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Even though they got the ship, they were able to disable the ship, kill like the 4 crew members who were on the ship. And, during the battle, 2 things happened that was just off the top of my head kind of interesting. One, Naomi was part of the crew who was going to go and board the ship, but she sort of had a breakdown.
Yeah, Naomi got sidelined. Like, I don't know.
She was like,
she
had a mental block, dude, didn't she?
Based on the previous seasons, Naomi has to go outside the ship and do dangerous things out there repairing this thing.
Yeah.
She got to figure this thing out. Like, she got to do some space therapy or whatever. They got to get this thing going because she's got troubles.
I don't know about her, man. I'm serious. I'm just like, I think she can. I think she can be like down with the crew, the good guys. Or it wouldn't even surprise me one bit if she went back to Marcos because she wanted to be with her son and be with the family, and just like,
you think she could go rogue? I think.
Well, not even go rogue because she's just. Well, she had a mental breakdown.
She had that last season, though. She had that chance to do it last season, and she's like, nope, and tried to kill herself twice.
But now she knows that what they're coming after Marco and Philip, and they're probably going to get Swiss cheese for real.
Oh, yeah, they got issues.
Yeah,
I think that it's going to be for her. She's got to work through some stuff, but she's expendable now because she's kind of technical too.
Peaches.
It's Peaches. She's technical. She knows what she's doing around this stuff. Like she trained a little bit, and while she's not as good as Naomi,
she's a fast learner.
Do the basics.
Yeah,
she can do the basics.
Well, she's not. She's Naomi is okay. So again, I don't know about Naomi. I'm not a Naomi fan.
She's a super genius.
Naomi is a super genius. Exactly. So again, she is needed
Peaches
because
is just a smart person.
Right. But she had a little breakdown too. She was like, I don't know what to do. I mean, like, so, and then Naomi walked her through. Naomi, like, in terms of like, just, I mean, did she go to school? I don't think so. Did she like learn this like was this like, educational training or what?
Well, she did. Wasn't she on the first ship with Holden? She was there. She was she was working on that ship.
That's
for
true.
In the beginning, and she was the engineer there. She was helping put the ship together. So she's fairly knowledgeable about all this stuff. She's very knowledgeable.
She's a genius, like you said, man. She's so she's definitely. I do love that about like her character. She's like super duper.
I like Naomi. Now she yells and screams and she's kind of annoying sometimes, but I like Naomi. But because Peach is on board, she's expendable now. And that's clear. You can kind of see she had that animosity towards her. Yeah. She feels like there's that kind of beef about, marking your territory with her. You can see it. I don't know if that's intentional or whatever, but like she's annoyed that she's there and she could do her job. Kind of.
Yeah. I don't know if Peaches would replace Naomi, but Bobby could replace Naomi. She's a soldier. She loves all this stuff.
Yeah, but Bobby doesn't know how to build a ship, though. She just knows how to shoot guns. So I think that's the problem with Bobby. Peach she's technical at least because she did all that training and she set herself up to go follow that stuff for all those years just to get payback on Holden. So she kind of knows her way around the spaceships and stuff.
Dude. So okay, so they take over the ship. They had a little battle like on top of the ship. Where Bobby shot up. Bobby had on a super
Swiss
uniform.
cheese.
She had on a super uniform. That joint is like, I'm telling you, the reason why I like Bobby is because she does not take any mess at all.
Yeah.
She does not play around. She's about her business,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really refreshing. It's just like, okay, let's just get to it. Let's just work. Let's do it. But so Bobby shot 2 or 3 people, and then there was one other person, and then that's when Peaches did her little thing.
Yeah, she hulked out. I
bit her tooth
know,
and then vomited on us. She's like, okay, so like I said earlier, that's not a superhero. Like, that's not a superpower I want, vomiting on myself. Come on.
Weed up there, man.
Dude, come on. It's just like, she's like, oh, she bites her tooth and then she does something because it makes a sound. I guess it's like a button or something. Yeah.
But like, the reason why, I like Bobby, Christian, all these people is because they're competent. Mm-hmm. I like competent people who make sound, rational decisions in the heat of battle or under pressure. Naomi is competent, but she does not make sound, rational decisions sometimes. Yeah. And it drives me crazy.
You know what else is cool? Another reason why I like Christian and Bobby is because, first of all, Christian, like I told you before, Christian has been there since season 1. Dude, she's been there for 6 years, right?
Yeah. She's
so. And the other thing is, do you think that they could have replaced Christian and Bobby with male characters?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm going to say no, because for them to be that confident, right, and to just take no mess, but also know how to pour on the charm, when you need to, right? That's a woman thing. I'll give you that.
Christian's character, because she's seasoned and she's got that extra gargly voice. Like, I love her voice though, but like, she's got that thing.
Would you like to have coffee with me? I can't even do it, dude. She's like, have a seat. Come in.
Yeah.
She's drinking a little brown liquor, dude. What do you think that is? Probably a really good scotch or bourbon, huh?
Yeah, it's probably some kind of scotch. But like, she's the actress playing her. She has that seasoned thing that, like, I'm actually here doing this.
True.
Rather than, because they gotta, sometimes when they got actresses playing these tough kind of roles, you're like, stop it, just stop. You're 105 pounds. Like, just stop, get out of here, man. Nobody's scared of you. Nobody looks at you as an imitation. When you see Christian on the screen, you're like, oh crap, this chick stabbed the president in the back somehow, and she got control of the parliament or whatever. Like, she's done high level things to gain power.
Yeah.
So there's a respect level. Yeah, you can look at it like there's a high level of respect from her and from the people around her. I know it's all acting, but I'm just saying, like, you have that impression watching the show that her character has done some gritty things and everybody respects her, or they're scared that she's gonna roll over them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about her character. So maybe they could have replaced, like, you need a good actor to replace her with. Like, you couldn't just put her with the guy doing Hallmark movies and put him in there. And
I don't think I don't think a male could. I don't think a male could play her role or Bobby's role. They need the female characters, like I said, because the female characters are powerful. They are powerful.
For her role to do what she's doing, to be sly and cunning, but still have grace and that kind of stuff, you need an Oscar caliber actor.
True.
You need a Daniel Day-Lewis or whatever, like somebody, a really good actor that you get when you see that person in a role. You don't see that person at, that's Will Smith. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's Will Smith as a lawyer. That's Will Smith as a doctor.
When you see Daniel Day-Lewis, he's doing some serious stuff.
Yeah. You see him, you're like, whatever that guy is, that's his name from here on out.
Yeah.
So That's how I look at it. You would need an actor like that to give that kind of thing, because I also too, because we've seen her doing this role for 6 seasons now, it's baked into our psyche about
Yeah.
what this role is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
If at the beginning they had a dude doing it, maybe we wouldn't notice. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I fall in love with the character. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
I
For
think she's a
sure.
great actress, and I don't know. I think it's probably because of time and we're kind of baked in. That's probably a factor.
They were able to download all of the data in terms of where are all of these asteroids located that are pointing or being, launched at these different planets. So they have all that data now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how they ended things. They have control of the ship because, Bobby was like, no, I'm in control of this mission. We need this ship. Do not destroy it, because Holder wanted to like just throw a missile at it, right?
Yeah, it's better they got control of the ship, because
Yeah.
now you know where these things are, and you can turn them around and aim them back at the belt, or you can do a bunch of stuff with them.
Yeah. And you can have these like small little task force, just all over the planet or all over the galaxy, just destroying these things and just causing mad havoc, like almost like Navy teams, Navy SEAL teams, 4 members, 6 members, just
You
going
could just
in,
launch them
coming
at each
out.
other.
Huh?
You could just have them all launch at each other and hit each other and blow up that way. There's
Right.
so many ways you could deal with it. But like if
Or,
you're in battle
mhm,
and you're running out of bullets, just send an asteroid to hit the ship.
mhm.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, that
It's
series.
basically a
Mhm.
guided missile.
They could point or you can just take over the software because you have the ship as well, reprogram
Mhm.
it, and point the asteroids at the free Navy ships.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could
Hmm.
use all these asteroids as guided missiles now at the Free
Yeah,
Navy.
yeah, for
So
real.
you could do a bunch of, as you can see his face when he found out about it. He was like, "Ah, damn, the jig is up."
You can see, even though he tried to stay strong, like, yes,
Yeah,
and
he
we'll
did
be
that laugh.
ready and we'll be waiting for them. Like, no, dude, you're not going to know how they come at you because you're not going to. They're not like distracted now because they don't have
Mhm.
asteroids,
Oh,
shooting
they're
at them.
focused.
Yeah,
And another thing too with him is that it's different when he just had that one ship and he was off the grid hiding out. You have targets that you're trying to maintain now. You have flags. You have to defend.
yeah,
It's a whole different beast when you can be your lone ship somewhere by asteroid somewhere hiding out. When you have actual targets that you have to defend, you can't you can't leave this area. You got to stay in this spot. It's just easy to get to you now.
man.
It's issues.
He is a marked man, and I don't. Even though your best friend is interesting, I think something's popping off with him for real, with
I go
Philip.
back to our what we said the last show.
What's up?
I definitely think that he's gonna turn on his father.
Hmm.
He's got
Mm.
conscience right now. He's got some kind of issues. It's gonna be a Nars battle. They're gonna go at each other.
I think so. I think that's a true statement. I think so because I feel that way too. Like, oh, okay, that would be an interest. That would be a really good twist too, right? I
Hmm.
mean, it's so typical, but the way they write it,
Hmm.
should be interesting. We would hope, but I think they do pretty well with the writing,
Oh, that the writing is solid.
even with
Even
characters I
characters I
don't
feel like.
necessarily like the writing.
Yeah,
Like
the
for instance, I don't
writing is so
necessarily
good.
like Naomi, but the writing for Naomi is on point all day.
I like her character. I'm just saying. I
You
know what you're
know?
saying though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No,
Mhm.
writing is on point, and they're acting like human beings, and they're making decisions like humans would, rather than like a TV show would.
Yeah.
And I like that aspect about it. Let me ask you this:
What's up?
what do you think is going to happen inside the ring with the protomolecule? Because that they're clearly setting that up. Because there's a ship that's hovering. The
Yeah.
parents, the neglectful parents,
Mhm.
are running off to a meeting with parents only about what to do. And I think the reveal is going to be next week that there's these Mars ships are circling over,
Mhm.
and what they're going to do about that.
Right. Now
And
there
they
are
haven't had contact with the
with
ring
the
yet.
rogue ships either, right? Too.
Well, they
In
haven't
the ring.
contact with Earth or anybody
Right.
since things. So they have no idea what's going on out there.
That's where Laconia comes in because it is a ring planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I remember just looking at old episodes of like Star Trek Generations, how sometimes there would be some weird anomaly like a wormhole and it's like this, cause a mass destruction and they would try to do something to collapse it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe they may try to
You
like,
think there's more out there? You think there's
collapse that
more?
planet,
Well,
They
we
may,
saw at the beginning it has the same machines that was on that other planet they went to.
yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
thing they were there.
That's why I think the kid with the birds, Kara with the birds and everything, when she's on Laconia, that's why I think those are going like it's something that they're telling us or they're going to tell us just based on the little bit of weird stuff that they're showing us, like
Yeah,
in
they're
both
spending an
episodes.
awful lot of time showing us the bird and the stuff with the girl.
Episode
So
one and
it's
two
got to mean
started off that
something.
way.
As
Yeah,
I'm saying,
so
it has to mean something for the writers. They're building up to something bigger. I don't know what it is yet, but for sure, I think it involves the protomolecule and the Mars ships.
yeah.
And yeah, for sure, they got something to do with that.
My other scenario with the ring, because I thought about this. So one is like just collapsing the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is chasing the Free Navy into one of the ring planets. It's probably going to be Laconia, but chasing them into a ring planet and then collapsing it.
Yeah, because how many rings are there? There's like hundreds of rings.
It's a lot of
They
rings.
don't need every galaxy. You can get rid of
Yeah.
one galaxy. It's fine.
It's a lot of rings,
Everything's
and
really
these are
far
just
apart.
planets. They haven't figured out how to like travel, like use the rings to like travel far distances.
Yeah, but the Belters can't survive on a planet.
They
They
can't.
can't go out to the planet for food.
Yeah.
They're reliant on the Earth and the Mars that they hate so much. They can't survive. If they had to go in the surface, they're they're just gonna fold over like a cheap suit. So
Dude, man.
they
Listen,
can't get down. So it's an issue here.
this is, you know, episode 1 and 2 are definitely season builders, right? They're building the season, right? They still have a little action in them, right? Like episode number 2, Azure Dragon, it had enough action in it that, I mean, I watched it twice already. It generally is available on Thursdays, so I watched it like last night and then I watched it again, right before the podcast. And yeah, man, listen, I agree with you when you say the Expanse is your favorite show, right? The Expanse is my favorite show. Now, we will see what happens with the second season of Foundation, but who knows, right?
Yeah, they can tank it or they can keep going strong. Who knows? What would you rate this show? What would you give this
Okay,
show?
so we're going to wrap this up. I'm going first this time because you generally go first. So first, okay. I'm going to give this episode, it was the same vibe and speed of the first episode. So I'm going to give it an 8.5. I like how the characters are really strong. All of the characters. Think about all of the characters, the main characters, and even some of like the second tier characters on The Expanse. They're all strong.
Yeah.
Strong characters, good writing, So this show, 8.5 for me. I like all the different scenes they had, the different sections they have. I think they have 4
there's like
different
4 main
scenes.
storylines.
Right, exactly. So they're building up the Laconia sort of thing. And now that they have the spotter ship, that was the Azure Dragon. Man, it's just and Kamina and Walker are thinking about going pirate status, super pirate status, and Vic and some of the supply depots. So
I love this. I love it.
It's all day for me, man. 8.5. What about you?
I give it a solid 8.5 too. And I agree that all of the main story, because there's basically 5 or 6 storylines, but there's 4 main storylines. Because you have Earth or the UN with a Christian, and then you have Holden over Rocinante, you have Marco's stuff, and then you have Kamina. And there's the main 4 storylines, and they jump off with the ring plants or whatever else, but those are the 4 main storylines. I like everybody in all 4 main storylines. Philip drives me crazy, but I still like everything that's going on with the Belters and the Free Navy. And Marcos he's a good actor. Is playing him like he's a great character. And yeah, I am very interested because you're rooting to see him get his comeuppance. So like when he's on the screen, I'm like, yeah, let's go, Marco. It's your turn. Like he's coming. So yeah, like all the characters I like. I'm big fans of everybody. All the actors are phenomenal. Even the people that drive us crazy, their actors are doing their roles are phenomenal. 8.5 for me. I can't wait for the next show.
Like I said, man, this show, some of the best writing, for a sci-fi show. Some of the best writing. Well, there you have it, another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.